Adam, where did the doctor learn to speak spider?
I I have no idea where.
On the web.
Planet of the pudding brains.
There's no point in being grown up if you can't be childish sometimes.
Would you like a jelly baby?
Shut up!
Hello and welcome, Whovians. It's time for a brand new episode of Musings of a Pudding Brain. I'm Adam.
And I'm Matt.
And this week we have first of all, of course, as usual, spoilers. Okay, done.
Yeah, spoilers. So, season 11, episode 4.
Yeah.
Arachnids in the UK. Okay, let's just get this out here front and go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's spiders are one of my one thing. Tiny spiders, I'm like, whatever. Moving on.
See, I'm definitely, I classify spiders in two basic categories: daddy long legs,
Yes.
and womp spiders. A womp spider is it's anything other than a daddy long leg that immediately gets womped with something very heavy. I actually have a phone book at home from like 2005 that is very thick and is expressly for the purpose of womping arachnids. That's the only reason why I still have it.
It's funny. You get one of those like tunnel spiders. You see it outside in the eaves, and you're like, whatever. You're doing your job. You see it inside, and you're like, nope, womp.
Oh yeah, no. If like out in their environment, okay,
Whatever.
I can swing wide and leave you alone. But when you come into my living space, no, I have a zero tolerance policy on arachnids.
That is time for womping.
Yeah. And of course, my cat is useless because she'll point them out to me, but won't actually like kill the spider. We'll just kind of meow at me like, "It's over here, dude." I'm like, thanks for spotting. You're awesome.
My old cats would always just eat them immediately.
See, quick disposal. That's a good kitty.
Yes. I'd be like, "What do you have in your mouth?" Oh, that was a spider. Okay, good job.
Still got a leg there.
Yeah, I see a leg hanging out.
Yeah. Oh, we open up the episode at a very The Shining kind of empty hotel rooms. Everything seems to be in a state of either just about to be opened or construction because everything's covered
or it's about to be taken down. It's either it's about to be opened or it's done.
Right.
Like it's going to be closed.
Yeah, everything's kind of dust covered. There's nobody there. But we enter into a large ballroom, where there's a business meeting taking place. Some high-powered, unidentified businessman talking to one of his subordinates. Now, any of you are old and had HBO, you might recognize the businessman Chris North as Mr. Big from Sex and the City.
Exactly.
Which immediately is just kind of like, him. All right. You're so gonna die, dude.
Yeah. I recognized him, and I was just like, oh, hey, it's Christopher North. All right, that's cool.
I actually had to look it up. I was just like, I recognize him from something. I know I recognize him. I'm like, oh, yeah. Thank you, IMDb.
It's so sad that I actually immediately went, hey, that's Big. Even though I've actually only seen like 3 episodes of Sex and the City because I was dating somebody that really liked the show. So I was like, those episodes, I was like, that's not that bad of a show. And by the end of watching 3 episodes, I went, okay, that was more than enough I'll ever need to know about this show.
Yeah, I've got the grip on this one.
Yeah.
There's not going to be very many twists and turns, but so the as of yet unnamed businessman is talking to his subordinate Frankie, who is pretty much trying to tell him, listen, it's not a question, this problem you have me trying to solve, it's not a question of money, it's simply a question of logistics, and it's pretty much impossible.
Yep.
And he does not accept this answer, telling her, listen, this is going to screw up my plans for 2020, so assume some sort of election or project or something going on.
Something like that.
But he basically tells her, I give you an hour to make this disappear. I don't care how.
Just disappear.
Make it go away. At which point his bodyguard comes in and like, we've, schedule, we've got to go. And right on his heels comes a fourth person, just who identifies herself as an employee. She's the general manager of the hotel, and businessman freaks out. How did you get in here? Aren't you supposed to be watching the door? I came in here to tell you we had to leave. I hate all of you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Who are you? Do you work for me or something?
She's
You
like,
know,
yeah, I'm the new GM.
I'm the new GM. No, you're fired. What?
But, what?
I said nobody was supposed to be here. You're here. You're fired.
She's like, I was going to stop in to take stock of the place and,
Finish up some extra paperwork.
get everything settled because it feels like it's going to open in about a week, maybe 2, 3.
Very soon. Couple of few days.
Maybe a month.
Yeah. And nope, you're out. You're canned. Get out.
All right. Well, okay.
and right on the heels of that, we flip to the Doctor and company, who are still having navigational landing problems.
They're traveling in the TARDIS.
Yes.
It's the TARDIS does what the TARDIS wants to.
Right, and it's because, of course, it's a new Doctor. It's a little unruly. They haven't gotten their rhythm yet, so to speak.
Well, also, if you've ever noticed that there are 6 sides to the center console.
Right, there's supposed to be 6 pilots.
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that the Doctor's been able to fly it basically alone for this long is awesome.
Right. But
even though the Doctor's been leaving the handbrake on for this entire time.
Right. But, some Doctors have had a little bit more control.
Well, yeah.
And land a little closer to the mark of where they're trying to get to than others.
Yeah, right now we're kind of just bouncing. Just being like, can we get home?
Yeah. Trying to get home. But this time they actually managed to land where they wanted to land. And it's only half an hour from the last time they were actually on Earth.
Yeah, it was just like, wow, that's really good.
And it also coincidentally happened to land right outside of Yaz's flat. And of course Yaz is like, well, so Doctor, what are you up to now? What's in it for you? Back in the box, whatever.
Just gonna bounce around.
Just by yourself? Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you want to come have some tea? Yes, I would love to. Absolutely. Tea at Yaz's, amazing, perfect. Come on, let's go have tea. And Ron's like, she didn't invite us, and Yaz turns around, don't be daft.
Seriously, I invited everyone.
Yeah, come on. So they go to have tea and to meet Yaz's family.
Yeah, Graham does decide to head off and go home.
Yeah, Graham splits off. He wants to go home, and
I love Yaz's family.
Yeah, Yaz's family, once Ryan and the Doctor meet them, they're very much like all the normal sort of family quirkiness. Yaz's sister immediately starts arguing with her and kind of busting on her a little bit. The dad's cooking dinner. Is like,
everyone's like,
I'm
don't
gonna
cook
get food.
I'm gonna cook this. Everyone's like, you never cook that right.
Yeah.
But you seem to love trying to cook it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, fine. And he's got a conspiracy theory. He's got a pile of garbage that he's collected as evidence from somewhere in the neighborhood that is being dispersed, and it's a big conspiracy theory. And Yaz's sister starts flirting with Ryan a little bit.
I saw
It's
that.
the first time where it's just like, so are you two? No, we're just friends.
Oh.
This
Okay.
comes up a couple of times this episode.
I
yeah.
know.
And yeah, of course the sister is like, oh, well, that's good. And Ryan just kind of does that.
Wait, what?
Huh? Did I hear that just right?
Okay.
And and as they're entering the apartment, we get a shot of a spider web. Foreshadowing.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, especially since the Doctor takes specific note of it and kind of stares at it for a second.
Just a second.
Pay attention. That's a
not
little hint.
That's a slightly abnormal spider web right there.
Right. Now, Yaz's mom calls her and asks her to come pick her up because she's just been fired. Don't tell Dad.
Yep.
Just come pick me up. I'll fill you in when you get here. So she splits off, and in the meantime, Ryan and the Doctor decide to go pick up this package from the neighbors for the family. Because, hey, we'll go down and get this parcel while we wait to have your terrible food, whatever he's making.
The next door neighbor, it had been delivered to the neighbor's house, but the neighbor hasn't been responding.
Right. So it's been like a week or two. since they've had any type of contact.
Yeah.
And they go outside and go to check in on it, and they run into the neighbor's friend who is also checking up on her. She hasn't been to work. They work at the same place. So she's a little worried, and doctor's basically like, well, I could get us in there if
you really think she's okay.
If you're concerned, and
Yeah.
want to, like, leaning her into, like, seriously, let's go check this out.
It was Dr. What was the lady's name?
Dr.
Jade.
Jade McIntyre.
Yes. Jade was like, what are you gonna do? Kick open the door? And the doctor's like, nope. Bzz.
Yeah. Zap. Sonic. In the meantime, while they're starting to enter the flat, we flip back to Graham is at home, and he's having a little bit of a rough time. He's still very much in the grieving process, so he's seeing little flashes of grace here and there, basically talking to him and telling him, this is when the trash goes out and the recycling and this and that. And he's like, I know. And she's not there.
Yeah.
So he's having a bit of a rough time, but he hears sort of a thud come from upstairs, and
What was that?
of course goes to investigate, and he gets up into the attic where he finds a very large spider husk,
Very large.
like size of a volleyball.
Small dog.
Yeah. Husk all just curled up. Like the spider has just molted and kind of left its
That's probably what the thud was.
old body, yeah, and just dropped. Again, I really hate spiders. And the only thing that really got me through a lot of this episode is some of my very basic knowledge of spiders, and knowing that they can't get that big.
No.
They can't. They just biologically cannot do it. The physics and biology will not allow them to get that big. They would literally suffocate under their own weight.
Right.
So this is screaming in the back of my head while I'm going, yeah.
That's not real. That's not real. I'm like, I don't care.
Don't care.
It's still a very big spider.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And at this point, we flip back to Dr. and Ryan and Dr. Jade.
And there are spider webs.
And the apartment
all
is
over this place.
covered in, it's just like a giant funnel spider web where it's just everything's covered. And of course, Jade is like, wait, spiders don't do this. A spider couldn't possibly do this.
Yeah, this isn't.
And that spider would have to be huge. Where,
the moment that she said huge, I was like, yeah, of course it's going to be a huge spider.
And the doctor's like, you're asking all the wrong questions. The question you should be asking is, where is the spider that did this?
Yeah.
Like, straight to the point. Good. Yeah, let's find this instead
Let's
of
go explore.
Let's get out of here.
She still needs to check in on her friend, and the doctor's still like, somebody's in need. I gotta check this out.
Right, because they find the friend mummified. Just
Yeah.
totally cocooned in spider silk, and
In her bedroom.
in her bedroom. And they're like, okay, yeah, we gotta find this thing.
Where is this spider now?
Open the closet up. Okay, there's nothing in the closet. And big kind of jump scare. And then they turn around and they hear the scraping and just see the leg sticking out from under the bed. Mm-hmm. And it comes out just a little bit, and it is the size of the dog, a dog. It is literally the monster living under a bed. And
That's
even
not
the
a-
doctor's like, okay, so, and hi. Out we go. And right out the door, and slams the door shut, and the spider's scraping at the bottom of the door trying to get through.
Immediately, I was just like, oh, that's like a kitty cat being like, hey, I'm in here.
Yeah,
I'm
the
in
paw's
here.
coming out, except no, the kitty cat, you play with the paw.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're cute. You're cute.
You're pissing the cat off, though, you know that.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, so they get jumped at the door, basically. It's at this point when we jump back, and Graham finally joins up with the whole group after they basically lock the spider in the apartment and just kind of leave it there.
Yeah.
Graham shows back and was like, you'll never believe what I found. This better not have anything to do with big spiders. Yeah, actually it does. And it's just, like, how'd you know? Like,
Graham and Ryan, they're just like, yeah, no.
yeah, just don't ask questions.
We just saw one. Oh, wow. I saw one at home, too. Oh.
Oh, big spider problem in the area, and the doctor kind of whirls on Jade and like, okay, you know more than you're letting on here. Spell it.
She's a scientist that's been studying spiders.
Yeah, like local spider behavior, and deviations in it, basically.
Yeah.
And as the doctor and she converse, it pans back, and Graham and Ryan are having a little conversation. Graham hands off a letter to Ryan from his dad,
yes,
who is estranged from the rest of the family. And Ryan just very quickly pockets it and is like, yeah, okay, and just moving right along. Now we flip back to Frankie. Poor Frankie, who I knew immediately she was going to die, because anytime I'm like, oh, you're kind of cute there. How you know you're a no-name character? You're so gonna get eaten.
Oh, God, yeah.
Okay, so she is in what looks to be like some sort of tunnel.
Yeah,
area,
under the hotel.
Under the hotel, and she's filming herself, basically saying, this is my...
Last testament, basically.
Yeah, this is my catch-all. This is my safety net. Everything I did under direct orders from, upper management, even though I had, do not disclose, non-disclosure acts, and all of this, and basically setting herself up to make a record of whatever she's about to reveal. And then she hears some sort of movement, looks up, and then screams and
dragged away,
and off she goes. I'm like, and red shirt. Okay.
And she's dead.
So we skip back up to the opening floor of the hotel, the lobby area.
Yes.
And Yaz is there to pick up her mom, and just going, very swanky,
this is
because
awesome.
they show a lead in. It's a very rolling hill with this very palace, reminiscent of hotels that certain world leaders may have their names slapped all over.
It's a very Trumpian hotel style.
Oh, it's so very Trumpian hotel. And Edson's like, well, Mom, pretty swank. Can we look around? Actually, no.
We really can't.
I've been sacked. We need to go.
What?
And yeah, as his mother's trying to herd her out the door, they're confronted with the still unnamed businessman and his bodyguard, who has a gun pointed at them.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no. What are you still doing here? Didn't I fire you already?
Yeah, we were just leaving.
We were just trying to leave. Put the gun down. My hotel, my rules. So, yeah, and what? You're her daughter or something? What are you, 15? Shouldn't you be in school? It's like, dude, she's a policewoman.
Yeah, I really wish Yaz at that moment, like, I am officer.
You know what? Badge.
Yeah.
I want to look around.
Tell your bodyguard to put it away.
Yeah, he's got a
what are
permit
you gonna
for
do?
that.
I'm gonna call it in.
You're in England. Is he allowed to have that?
Yeah. Permits.
But she doesn't. Instead, the businessman continues to berate both Yaz and her mother. And if I hadn't fired you earlier, and I'd have fired you 10 minutes ago when I saw the state of the rooms. It's disgraceful. And Yaz's mother's like, what are you talking about? I was just through these rooms. They were immaculate. They were fine. I'm like, no, you young lady, do you want to see how good your mother isn't?
Yeah.
And Pan is like, oh, what a dink. And he's clearly supposed to be Trump. After all of this, everything down, the only way that he could have made it more obviously Trump was to give him a bad orange spray tan and a friggin' blonde toupee.
Yeah.
So immediately, we don't like him at all.
No, I'm still calling him Big at this moment in my notes. Actually, you know what? I called him Big for the rest of the episode.
Fair enough. We flip over to the lab that Jade is working at, and again they're looking into arachnid DNA and utilizing their genetic strengths for the purposes of like mass producing spider silk, and then like creating an enzyme to make the spiders live longer so that they'll produce more. I like things of this nature. And in the back of my head, I'm going, don't you people read comics? This is exactly how Spider-Man started.
Exactly.
Stop it. All you need is a teenage journalist to come rolling through one day, and we've got a new superhero running around. Stop with genetic testing.
I like the bit of information that the doctor gives about one of the spiders, that if you get a thread 1 pencil thick.
Yeah, woven into the thickness of a pencil that you could stop a plane in flight.
Yeah, I was just like,
that's terrifying.
I keep forgetting just how strong by size spider webs truly
Spider
are.
silk actually is.
I'm like,
and
yeah, I keep forgetting that.
If you could kind of like mass produce it like that, yeah, it's would make a great lightweight Kevlar.
Yep.
It's strong as steel. I mean, you could use it for a lot of things. So I understand why they're trying to do it.
Totally.
It's just one of those areas where it's like, stop mucking about. Stop mucking about. Nothing actually good will ever come of this before the world is destroyed by big hairy critters.
Yeah, my other awesome bit of information that came out of this, that I immediately just went, oh, why do I now know this? That there's about 21 quadrillion spiders on the planet.
Oh, yeah. You want another fun fact?
Oh, what's that?
You are never more than 8 feet away from a spider.
Luckily, they're small enough that I wouldn't notice.
Yeah, well,
so I got no problem with that.
That's it. Most of the time, they're in the woodwork or they're in a tree close by
Yeah.
to you, but you are never more than 8 feet away from an arachnid at any time.
The small ones I like, especially the ones that go only after insects.
I was going to say, okay, I got just 4 words from you. Brown recluse and black widow. You want to talk to me about the small ones? No.
Cold weather up in the north.
Womp spiders. All of them. Possibly burn them with fire.
By the way, you want to know that there is a very large spider that lives in New Hampshire? Wolf spiders.
Oh, I've seen wolf spiders. I grew up in
your
Pennsylvania, and I had to deal with barn spiders.
Oh.
So yeah, I have met the queen from Arachnophobia, like face to face while camping in the woods and just trying to mind my own business and water a tree. Know what I mean?
Yeah. Like,
I was in a very compromised position when I spotted the large pulsating, like tennis ball sized spider staring me down going, what you working with there, pal? I'm like, it's a good thing I was already peeing, because I definitely would have just wet myself right there and just very slowly backed away while tucking myself back in. I didn't even check to make sure I had broken stream yet. I was going to take the wet pants and just make sure I'm secured before this thing attacks me.
At summer camp in the staff lounge, we would hit the screens and hear how big of the spiders there were that falling off from it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They'd be like, how big is this one? Just a couple of smaller ones. How about this one? Thump. Yep. And I just heard it run away too.
Yeah, like, I'm not going outside.
Still, okay.
Yeah. Now, the other information that Jade drops on us after all of this creepiness is that, they have their waste come and picked up by a specialist company, so it's disposed of in a proper manner. And we've got this pin board of the local area that they've coordinated with police officers to, okay, this is where all of these weird spider occurrences are, either freak infestations in quantity or like extraordinary web building or something along those lines that is just aberrant behavior for the spider population. And the doctor promptly looks at it and goes, hold on, Sharpie, and connects all the dots. And of course, the hotel is in the eye of the storm of all of this activity.
Yeah.
So like, what's this right here? And
we go, it's the hotel.
Yeah, we flip back to Yaz, her mom, the businessman, and the bodyguard, Kevin.
He finally has a name.
He finally has a name. We're all up in a room that is just covered in spider webs.
Yeah.
And the businessman is going, okay, so this is what I'm talking about. And Yaz's mom is just, I was in here yesterday. This was not like this.
No.
And the businessman goes, yeah, so this is why you were fired, and checks his watch, and it's time for my scheduled bathroom break. Kevin, to the bathroom. When I'm done, you two had better be gone, or Kevin's going to escort you out the door, and I never want to see you on my property again. Like, yeah, your scheduled bathroom break?
Yeah,
seriously, dude?
He's that level of person.
Yeah.
He's actually, that behavior, kind of a Vince McMahon type thing. Now, if he did say at one point that I don't like sneezes because I can't control the situation, that's definitely a Vince McMahon thing.
Right. Just very alpha personality.
Oh, yeah.
So while the Big and his bodyguard exit, Kevin and Big take off. Yaz and her mom have a little back and forth about, seriously, why were you working for this douche in the first place?
Yeah.
And, what happened? And, well, where have you been? And Yaz shushes her and says, did you hear that? And goes over and sticks her ear up against the wall, kind of listening, and the camera pans over, and in the sub wall you can see this spider bigger than her head.
Yep.
Just kind of chilling there and moving
up.
its legs and very quietly making a move, and again just stop it, because it's listening to her as well.
Oh yeah,
because that's how they hunt. But
they did a great job with this episode of giving us spiders that were big enough to be really scary, but not so big that they become comical.
For the most part,
yes.
I mean, it definitely one of those enough to fuel nightmares for a good long while, especially after we flip to Big finishing up his tinkle.
Yes.
And washing his hands, and puts his cell phone on the sink, which of course immediately starts to vibrate.
Yep.
And as he's berating Kevin for not being there to dry his hands for him, here's a little ting 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 ting, and turns around and does what every idiot in every horror movie ever does, and sticks their eyeball looking down the drain.
Yes.
Of whatever it is that's making the noise. Just go, plumbing, call the plumber.
I mean, like, I'm gonna leave now.
Not gonna do this, especially after leaving a room that is covered in friggin' spider webs.
Yeah. Normally, though, if I do hear something in the drain, I just run water down it.
Yeah, or something
be
like we're just gonna
whatever.
flush you back down. Or if I hear any sputtering coming out, I'm getting.
That's when I leave.
Yeah, just get out.
If I hear a hey, stop doing that, I'm definitely, you know what, your house, buddy. I'm out.
Yeah, yeah. But he looks down the drain, and of course, immediately the ting 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 becomes a furious tempo, and he's blown across the room as a spider bursts through the tub, and it is the size of the tub, so it literally
This one is
blows
huge.
the tub out.
Yeah, I specifically wrote down. I was like, and I was like, that's one huge spider.
Yeah.
I wrote that more than once in this episode.
Yeah, I can't share some of my notes in here. They're just too explicit for the podcast.
Hey, we're trying to keep a PG-13-ish.
We're keeping it. We're trying to keep it. Well, I cannot share most of my notes, but Big gets knocked back to the back of the room. Spider kind of rears up. Kevin finally shows up and enters the bathroom, gun pointed out, and again, I understand the moment of hesitation.
Yeah, I understand this
because
one.
kind of frozen.
What is that?
But seriously, we are now to a point in time where most of the people walking the planet were raised on video games. Fire.
Shoot it.
Don't ask questions. Open fire. That is not. It's not even remotely human.
Yeah.
Open fire.
Ooh.
But he doesn't, and Big pushes past him and closes the door, and Kevin gets eaten. And
Yes.
he gets jumped, as it were.
Tries to take the cell phone.
Tries to grab the cell phone because, of course, Big is outside going, I have no Kevin. I am Kevinless. I am exposed. And like really has this kind of Gollum moment. Like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't deal with this. And I don't even have my cell phone. And this is when you see Kevin's webbed up hand reaching for the cell phone, and just as he gets his fingertips around it, he gets drugged down the hole.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course Big is watching this going, okay, and I'm out. Slams the door, runs out into the hallway, and runs right into the doctor and entourage.
Dr. Graham, Jade, Ryan, Yaz's mom. I mean, Nadia.
Yeah, Nadia. But, and of course, the doctor writing his girl, okay, so tell me everything that has happened and leave out nothing, no matter how strange or how weird it is. I own this hotel, and my bodyguard just got drugged down a hole by a spider the size of a tub. Okay, very succinct. Well, good on you. So, I'm gonna go check this out, and of course goes in and sticks her head right into the tub,
Straight down into the tub,
waist down, laying on the floor, half suspended into it, and is just looking around and turns, and yeah, there's a really big spider there going.
Hi.
And to her credit, the doctor's like, hi, looking for Kevin.
Have you seen a Kevin?
Roar, and of course head up out of the hole and grabs Yaz and like, okay, and we're running, and slams the door and like, and we're running to the crowd and a general in the hall, and everybody starts taking off except the businessman and Graham. And businessman is like, wait, what's going on? Who are you people? Why are you here? And Graham's like, listen, run now, ask questions later, mate. Okay, let's go.
I've already learned this rule. Let's go.
Right, which again, I love Graham's pragmatism. He is such the voice of like reason and practicality in the group, going, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why would we not do this instead?
When are we eating?
Yeah, when are we getting food?
I kind of want to have
a
some
bit
dinner.
of a nap.
Yeah,
So the entire group, the whole Scooby gang, now run off because they're trying to make an exit. Like, let's get out of here. Yes, wisdom, finally.
Let's actually leave.
Exit. Get out. And they can't. They get to the lobby area. It is now absolutely cocooned in spider silk, and they have walled off the entire entrance. And the doctor's like, this is not good. They clearly know we're here.
Yeah, Jade's like, this isn't normally possible at all.
Right. And they're trying to keep us in. They're trying to make the entire hotel their web, which makes us the flies.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get somewhere bright and enclosed, because spiders don't like bright lights. They're like the mogwai. You know, bright light. No, they don't like bright lights. And let's go. Kitchen. Okay, and of course, the doctor keeps deferring to Yaz's mom, going, okay, so you're clearly the one with the most workable knowledge in here. I don't care who this guy is, so Yaz's mom, let's go.
Every time someone, like the doctor or Ryan or Graham, call her Yaz's mom, every time, Nadja. She's like, seriously, I have my own name.
Actually,
okay, Yaz's mom. And then continue on.
So they're able to regroup in the kitchen, which is, of course, it's a kitchen. Everything is reflective. It's very
super
bright lights. And you go, okay, so what do we know? And the businessman immediately is just like, okay, so who are you people and why are you here? And the doctor turns around and does what the doctor always does. Don't worry about that. Who are you? Am I supposed to know you? Should I be impressed? What's going on? Like, you seriously don't know who I am? You're probably the only person on the planet who doesn't know who I am. And the doctor rolls it. Is he Ed Sheeran? Everybody's talking about Ed Sheeran these days. Is that him? Because I love his music. And they're like, no, I'm not Ed Sheeran.
I do. I actually really do. That was a great moment where I was like, no, the doctor really is just like, I'm a traveler and I hear things, but I don't always pay attention to them.
I don't always know exactly what's going on.
Pop culture is not really my thing.
Right. Maybe I'm just socially awkward. I don't know. I'm still learning who I am. Yeah, she still has that. I don't know. But the businessman finally goes off and blows up that his name is Jack Robertson. He owns the hotel that is only one hotel in a chain of very successful hotels, and is only one small fragment of his other business ventures that have been noted in like Forbes magazine and Fortune 500. Again, this guy couldn't more clearly be Trump. They just called him Trump, which they actually make a joke about because
oh yeah, you're running for
Graham
president.
says, oh yeah, you're running for presidency in 2020.
He's like, I haven't announced anything just yet.
Yeah, and Jade's like, oh, please, I heard you were only running because you hated Trump for decades. So please don't use that name in front of me. So, like, they throw it out that Trump is an actual person in this particular reality timeline, whatever you want to call it. But this character couldn't more clearly be Trump. The BBC just went, okay, America, we're going to tell you our opinion, but we're going to do it in a very passive-aggressive British way.
Oh, yeah.
So, which, again, it's like, yeah, we get it.
We're not...
Most of us are so on your side.
Yes. We're not going to take these traits and turn them to 11 because they're already at 11. So, we can't do more than that.
Right. We're just going to call it by a different name.
I do like the fact that Big is just like, why are you... To the doctor, it's just like, why are you in charge? Ryan, Yaz, and Graham. Because we said so.
Yeah. Who put you in charge? We did. Yeah. And it's just like, shut up. You're
Shut up.
irrelevant. Nobody's going to listen to you right now anyway. But the doctor says we need two things. We need plans of the hotel, blueprints, and we need to capture a spider. And everybody starts looking around at each other, and
I like how
Robertson
slowly
is like,
the eyes...
I am not going anywhere near the spiders.
The eyes slowly go to Ryan and Graham, and it's just like, hey, guys.
Who are just looking at each other going, oh, we're so screwed.
We're the ones.
Yeah, because
we have
he's
to be
not going
bait.
to be involved, and we're not going to let the ladies do this. Not because they don't think they couldn't do it, but because Ryan and Graham are both very chivalrous in their own ways. And like, yeah,
if I can do it, you don't have to.
Yeah, let's go do this. Come on, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
This, of course, would be my lot going, no.
Nope.
So the next thing we see is Graham standing in the middle of a hallway and a spider, very, very large spider.
Yes.
Come rolling up the hallway and just kind of see him and stop, and Graham starts
Do a little sidestep.
Yeah, talking to it like, nothing here for you, mate. Just move along. Just
Go on.
Don't mind me. And it keeps coming closer. Nope, you really don't want to do that. Don't.
Terrible idea.
It's gonna end badly. You don't want to. And as soon as it gets close enough to like pounce, Ryan comes busting out of a corner and slams a big pot on top of it. Graham's like, you took your time. What are you doing?
Like, I had to make sure.
Yeah, I had to make sure.
All right, on 3, slide the lid back on.
Slides the lid under, and while Ryan's down on the pot, keeping it on the pot.
On the pot.
Because, again, people don't realize that for their size, spiders are insanely strong for their size. So the bigger they get, they're just going to get more insanely strong. So he's basically keeping a small dog under wraps.
Pinned to the ground.
And then he sees what coming up behind Graham and just Graham, we gotta go, and just all these giant spiders come flooding out of the rooms in the hallway behind Graham, who turns around, takes one look and goes, come on, leg it, let's go, and starts running again. It's we're out of here, we're not screwing around, there's nothing heroic, run.
This is actually the moment where I wrote down, and I had to stop the episode. I wrote down pure nightmare fuel.
Oh,
I was like,
absolutely.
And I stopped, and I was like, nope. I gotta walk away for a little bit. I gotta, get some mental sherbet going on.
Yeah. and they kind of give that to us a little bit because we flip over to, Yaz, her mom, the doctor, and Robertson. Robertson. I always want to call him Robinson. I don't know why.
I mean, Big works as well.
Fair enough. They're in what we assume is either his office or the foreman's office, finally looking at
general
blueprints,
manager's office, somebody's office.
Yeah, somebody's office, looking at schematics for the building. And Big makes a comment about, well, these can't be that up to date. They don't even have my safe room, my panic room in there. And they all just kind of look at him like, all this, you've had a friggin' panic room this entire time.
Didn't let us know about that.
Douchebag. But the doctor postulates that Yaz's mother may be the link between the spiders because she works at the hotel, and thing had the giant spider was found at her neighbor's place,
right?
So maybe that's the link. And
they're still trying. Big is immediately like, you're stealing from the property.
Yeah.
She's like, no, seriously, shut up.
Yeah, shush, nobody's paying attention to you. And Yaz's mom has already asked, like, Yaz and Ryan, so are you two? Like, no. And or asked the doctor and Yaz now, are you two? And the doctor responds like, I don't know. Are we? Like, what lie are we going with here? I'm gonna let you take the lead. And Yaz is like, no, we're just friends. And oh, okay. So how do you know my daughter? I can't really answer that right now. It's a simple
We'll
question.
discuss
It's
that
a
one
longish
later.
answer, and I don't have time.
Yeah.
I have to take care of this. In the meantime, back in the kitchen, Graham and Ryan have brought their catch back, and it is in these clear, like, salad containers in the kitchen. And
Two stacked on top of each other.
Clearly agitated and
Oh,
kind of jumping at Graham and Jade as they're trying to
like inspect
observe it. I'm like, I would have that thing like duct taped and secured. I would not be holding it. No.
There'd be a
Ryan's just kind of chilling off a table away, kind of in his own
Okay.
thing. He's kind of looking at the letter from his dad.
So Ryan is always doing something in the background. Did you catch back at the lab where he started doing hand puppets, shadow puppets?
Oh, yes.
I was like, Ryan's doing shadow puppets.
While the doctor and Jade are talking at the map,
He's
you
like,
can see him in the background doing the bunnies and the thing. Yeah.
And I was like, really, Ryan? Dog. I was like, oh, okay,
Fair enough. Now, Jade looks at the spider and goes, "Oh, that's not good. Was that the biggest one out there?" And Graham's like, "I don't know,
I don't
but
know.
we're not going back out to find out." It's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I need you to do, actually."
Oh.
Like, you're joking, right? No.
No.
We really need to find how big these things are getting.
Yeah, because we don't know where... Because that's actually one of the weird things about spiders. Just observing them, you cannot tell their age other than their size.
Right, and they will continue to grow as long as they live. And...
Which basically means that all spiders die by suffocation.
Pretty much. Or becoming prey to something else.
Right.
Or, other natural causes. But
Or a phone book.
Or a very large phone book. Yeah, don't come into my place, spiders. If you hang outside, we cool. I will leave you alone.
Yeah, you do your thing.
You come into my domicile, the kitty will spot you, and I will whomp you. That's the contract. Now, the doctor is trying to figure out what other possible connections could be going on. And, like, okay, so the land, the hotel, how long did it take you to build it? It took 5 years. It's on a repurposed industrial site.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, what repurposed, what industrial site, what was it? And he's just like, I do not have clarity on that. Like, you have no idea, and that is such a bullshit answer.
You just don't want to admit you know.
Right. And, of course, his mom is just,
She's
do.
It's an old
I
coal
know.
mine.
Yeah. I'm like, of course it's an old coal mine.
Well, I mean, you live in the area. You're going to know where the old coal mine is.
Well, there's that, but things like this always occur. Like, we built it on the old Indian burial ground. We built it on top of a coal mine. Like, first of all, really, you're going to put this kind of huge structure on top of coal shafts? That's stupid to begin with.
I'm willing to bet that it's structured in a way that it can handle it.
Well, one would hope, but as we've already found out, that this guy clearly has no concerns for human life whatsoever.
No. Because, I mean, he talks about, some it used to be old construction sites. He said that one of them was an old production factory.
Right.
And I'm like, you literally built it on poisoned ground.
Yes.
Okay, you don't care.
Not a single bit. No concern whatsoever. So, of course, the doctor says, well, guess where we're going? And off to go into the cellar, and...
I do like when they just before this, they do check out the panic room. And Big brags about how long he can last in there by himself. I was like, 6 months, Really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh yeah, and he's got every one of you can have
fallout shelter.
two guns each with how many I have in here. It's like, what? Like, if I was the GM and I'm just finding out about this, I'd be like, that's down here?
Yeah.
Why weren't we advised of this?
Because it's none of your business. My hotel, my rules.
Yep.
One of those things. So yeah, Doctor and company, minus Graham and Ryan and Jade, go off to the cellar to investigate what's going on down here. Jade catches up with them and starts talking to the Doctor, and basically, yeah, we've got a bit of a problem.
Just a little problem going on.
They seem to be a lot bigger than we know, and as they Big tries to stop them, going, see, none of you are authorized to go down here. See this? It says hazardous, hazard of death. You don't have the authority to go in there. And the Doctor pulls out the Sonic and says, dude, I have all the authority I've ever needed. And Sonic's the lock open, pops it open, turns to Yaz and goes, I call people dude now. Please don't. Please let that be a Matt Smith moment where it's just like, fezzes are cool. I'm gonna do this now. No, you're not. Just no, you're not. Stop it.
Bow ties are cool.
Like, please don't start calling people dude. Don't let that be your word.
I want that to be though.
I don't. Keep brilliant. Brilliant is amazing.
Oh no, brilliant's going excellent. To be the phrase, but like all of the a-holes from. Because every episode has got to have one.
Yeah.
They're always going to be called dude.
That I would accept. That's their like little insult slang.
It's like, oh, that's cute, dude.
So they get down into these tunnels, and where it transitions from being just like a building foundation cellar into these coal mine tunnels that were not apparently sealed off. Because that would be one of the first things you'd really want to do, is
other than
seal
the
off the
door.
mines. But pretty much blockade everything off so that there's no access in and out of it, because not somewhere you want a guest wandering about or their children wandering about. And of course, they immediately stumble onto more spider webs, and they find Frankie and Kevin all hanging a cocooned, ready to be eaten.
Clearly dead.
Yes, very, very much so dead at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And Jade is going, well, spiders don't do this. They do not do this. This is such aberrant behavior, because so far she's recognized the spiders they've seen.
Oh yeah,
they're local variants. They're just massive, and they're acting erratically outside of their normal behavior patterns. They're very aggressive, and they're spreading out a little too much, and this and that. And of course, Big makes a big stink about, why, let's just go get some guns and we'll take care of this.
We'll shoot them up.
Right. Well,
we'll solve this the America way.
America. And of course, Big is able to identify the two bodies, and Yaz spots something down one of the mine shafts and calls everybody else over. When they go over, Big kneels down and picks up Kevin's gun and tucks it in his pocket.
Yep.
And
foreshadowing.
They bank the corner, and what is presented in front of them is miles and miles and miles of landfill. And just garbage and waste, and that's what they've been smelling all this time. It's
always been a little weird smell going on.
Yeah.
Not really off, but you're just like, did I smell that? No?
Yeah,
okay.
So you've got all this unprocessed landfill kicking off, methane and sulfurous residue and everything that goes with decay and decomposition. And by the way, the company that filled all of these mine shafts with all the landfill, Robertson Big, also happens to own that. It's just good business. We got a deal. Let's fill the space. It'll be fine. Well, I don't actually know all the details.
I just hire people to do things.
I just hire people. I expect them to do their job. Oh, by the way, same company that happens to pick up the biological and scientific waste from Jade's laboratory, which includes spider carcasses and other failed experiments.
Yep.
So we've got a mutation cocktail going on in the bottom of this hotel.
Yes.
Which maybe one of the carcasses weren't dead, but just alive.
Just dead enough.
And enough food and all this toxic soup that now we have giant mutant spiders.
Yeah, we got giant mutant spiders.
Which are throwing on, which is why all of the rest of the normal spiders in the area have started to freak out. because
and
it's like Godzilla appearing on your doorstep.
everyone's gonna leave.
Yeah, everybody's bugging out.
And they've been using the tunnels to get around this in the city.
Right, and spread out and into the house. But
Yeah.
they look, and the tunnels are a little bit bigger than they really should be for mining purposes.
Yeah.
Like something has clawed its own tunnel system out, and it's not tiny.
Oh, and they're yeah.
So they decide to head back up out. In the meantime, we flip back to Graham and Ryan cheesing about the hotel, looking for the biggest spider they can find.
Now, I do like the back and forth between Graham here, because Ryan admits that he's read the letter, his dad is reaching out to him, being like, "No, you should come live with me because I'm your only proper family now."
Right, kind of taking a dig at Graham, saying like, yeah, he's not really family.
He's just your step grandfather, whatever.
Yeah, kind of an underlying text of white boy.
Yeah.
And Ryan comes to his defense and is like, I don't like the fact that he used that proper family. He's not proper.
Yeah.
And at that point, Graham's like, hey Ryan, did you check the ceiling when we came in the room? No, neither did I. And they look up, and there is the biggest GD spider you could possibly think of, literally covering a good section of the ceiling.
And it's a ballroom.
And it's a ballroom.
Yeah.
And it's covering about half of the ballroom ceiling.
That is one, as I wrote down once again, that's one huge spider.
Yeah. Graham and Ryan immediately show their wisdom and start booking it.
They just run to the nearest door. They're like, nope, we're out.
Spider drops behind them and starts coming after them. Now, again, biologically speaking, the nerd in me goes, if the spider was really that big, there's no possible way they could get away from them. Have you ever seen a spider scurry across a floor?
Oh my God.
They move. Now, just because they got bigger
doesn't mean they slow down.
Doesn't mean they still don't have the same muscle mass ratio, so they're gonna be able to be your
tarantulas are fast.
Yeah, you're a dead man running, but they make it out of the ballroom, slam the door, which again the spider could have easily splintered and come right through.
I know.
If it really wanted to, but they get out going, I think we found it.
I think we found Mama.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually have. GNR find the queen. Biggest van, running ensues.
Running.
And they regroup with the rest of the Scooby crew.
Yeah.
And because they're clearly here to fight a monster in the hotel. This is clearly Scooby-Doo material.
Oh, yes, of course.
And the doctor is still trying to piece out, okay, why are they here? Is the hotel their base or their home, or what's the deal? Because every living organism has the same instinct of it wants to go home.
Yes.
So here's the plan. We're going to lure all of the spiders into the safe room.
Yep.
Except for the queen, because she's too big. But
so
we're going to lock them all in there.
So they can die humanely.
Right. And
in my head,
all right, this is where I'm totally with Big's reaction of, bullets are faster.
Oh.
Bullet straight to the face, that's humane, one shot, done, and these are spiders we're talking about.
There's a lot of the smaller ones. They wouldn't be able to take single shots at them.
Dude said he had an armory. I'm sure he's got shotguns. Give me a widespread and I'll make some spider splatter. I guarantee you.
You and I are just like, no, we can do this.
Yeah.
Shotguns each.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
America. I'm sure I would rig a flamethrower if I had to. I'm not messing around. I will MacGyver some weaponry real quick.
Turn to the doctor and be like, look, I'm sorry about this, but I have to deal with my own internal fears, and I'm going to deal with it this way. If I start giggling, don't worry about me. It's okay.
Right. And again, how this doctor is handling things in her own manner, because Lord knows, like, the 10th Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there'd be squished spiders. Capaldi would have totally blown up the building and called it good.
Burned the building to the ground and went, we're good here.
Kill it with fire and we're out. You know, it would have been okay, but this incarnation, she's really very Buddhist.
Yes.
You know, all living creatures deserve the same respect and whatever. And I'm sorry, I'm so with big on this one. Going, they're spiders.
I mean,
they're not. We've established they're not sentient.
Yeah,
they're not.
Unless
they're
the Doctor speaks spider.
Big spiders. Well, she did try speaking to the one, and the only reason it didn't jump on her face was because of the vinegar.
Vinegar around the hallway.
Yeah.
It did stop and was just like, oh, when I get a chance, I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you.
This isn't over. But the general plan is to get all the spiders into the safe room, and then we'll
lock it.
And then herd the queen back into the tunnels.
Yeah.
Then just secure her down there. Now, because spiders hunt by vibration, their lure is Ryan's musical choice and the entertainment center that is in Big's safe room.
I do like the part of the plan where she's just like, she runs down it and then makes the comment of, this is like the greatest Edith Wharton novel never written. So I immediately had to pause and find out who Edith Wharton was. She was a novelist, playwright, designer, living in New York City, part of the New York City aristocrats. She was born in 1862 and died in 1937 in Paris, France, or in France. I couldn't pronounce the name of it. She was... 3 books that she wrote were The House of Mirth, Ethan Frome, and she won, I believe it's no, it's not a Pulitzer, the Nobel Prize for writing for The Age of Innocence. Little bit of history for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Little bit there. So, of course, the Doctor knows her very well.
Well, of course.
Of course. Probably has signed copies of the books laying about.
Probably has had dinner with her on more than one occasion.
Yes. But yeah, Ryan kicks up the jams basically, and I believe the genre is grime.
Yes, it is, which is really funny because I heard the song and I went, I kind of recognize this. Immediately run over to YouTube and I'm like, all right, what is it? Because I do the whole Edith Wharton thing, and then the music starts, and I'm like, okay, well, fine, I have to look this up too. It's from Stormzy. It's Know Me From is the name of the track. Oddly enough, totally didn't recognize that I've been following this guy for like 3 years now.
Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with a particular genre, it is very bass heavy. And very, I guess the politically correct term would be urban. It's very urban styling. Grime started in one particular neighborhood in London, and kind of became the rap genre known throughout England. So the closest the U.S. has to it would be Run the Jewels and LP style of mixing, so very, very specific and kind of a genre specific style, but very, very,
very bass heavy.
So of course Ryan just cranks it up to 11 and it's just like, yeah, this is it. And everybody else except for Yaz is just like oh.
Yaz is like, yeah, this is it.
So they leave Big to man the door to the safe room.
Yep.
And everybody else goes and raids the spa to get all of the essential oils they can possibly find. And the Doctor is basically making spider repellent.
Yep.
So while all of the rest of the little spiders make their way to the safe room and they're blocked off as they go.
A lot of them.
Yeah, there many, many, many. Some of them the size of the door.
Some of them are like deer making their way through it that size. Some are small dogs.
And the entire time, Big holding his big desert eagle, just talking smack the entire time, like, yeah, you get in there. This is what rules now. And he's basically talking about the gun, and he pauses, like, you're talking to spiders now, man.
He's like, all right, yeah, no.
Now, once he gets them sealed in, we flip back to...
So, okay, I do have to stop you here for 1 second, though. The entire plan is to lock all of those spiders in that room
Yes.
so that they can starve to death.
Yes.
And that's
And
the most
effectively suffocate to
yeah,
death.
that's the most humane the Doctor could come up with.
As opposed to simply bullets.
I mean,
Which,
honestly,
I'm sorry, here I want to be America, and let's shoot the critters.
Yeah,
Let's
we're going to
shoot
shoot
the
them
spiders.
because they're just going to starve to death or cannibalize each other.
Right.
The big ones will cannibalize the little ones until there's only like one spider left, and then it will just die.
Right. And if they seal off the ventilation to that room, they're all going to run out of oxygen.
Exactly.
Anyway, especially with that many living creatures in one
Actually,
area consuming all the oxygen. So they would probably suffocate before anything else.
Actually, it is relatively humane to cut the oxygen and just go out that way.
Yeah, tell that to the critter.
I know.
Now, we flip back to the rest of the squad in the ballroom. And they're going to use a combination, and this amused the hell out of me, combination of peppermint and tea tree oil as spider repellent. This is the same combination of stuff that I put on my head all the time. It's a scalp treatment. I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this. I'm making my head spider repulsive. This is beautiful. All right. And I will say, if you ever get the chance, go for it. It's kind of like having Altoid head for a little while. It's rather nice.
The shampoo I use is tea tree as well.
Yeah, so
it's wonderful.
I giggled about that a little bit. But as it turns out, when they get close, there's really no need to try and hurt it anywhere because Jade notices it's acting kind of funny, and they figure out that it has grown too big to properly process oxygen. She's literally suffocating under her own weight.
Yeah, can't even climb up the wall at this point.
Right.
I was like, oh, at that moment I was just like, all right, now I actually feel bad for you.
Yeah, see, I went the other way. Now I'm going, kill it, it's weak! It's weak and get it!
I was like, oh,
Which is exactly what Big does, because he busts in the door and just went, okay, I'm done. Bang! And you're like, no, we don't do this. My hotel, my rules, and blast the spider. Yeah. The doctor berates him like, she was dying anyway. Oh, so it was a mercy killing. I don't see any mercy in you. And he retorts with, this is what the world needs right now. This is what's going to get me into the White House, and storms off. And Graham just kind of looks at him and, God help us all.
Yeah.
Like, and there's the underlying message of how the rest of the planet views America, its president, and its general reaction to everything. And there, I have to say, most of America would agree with them.
Yeah, I agree.
But
God help us all.
Yeah, and the doctor just crouches down to look at the spider, which is now obviously dead, legs curled up and whatnot, and we fade to black. And come back a little later that night, where Graham, Ryan, and Yaz each kind of make their own way to the TARDIS to say their last goodbye. They arrive separately.
Yaz is like, I'm going to run out and grab a loaf of bread.
Yeah, and doesn't really tell her family what's going on. Her mom even
no,
makes
she's
a
like, when I
comment
get
about,
back,
when you
we'll
come
tell the
back,
story.
why don't you tell me about how you know the doctor?
Yaz is like, I'll totally do that.
Yeah, and Ryan,
it's gonna be you can see the gears click in her head of going, all right, how am I going to tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay, that's going to be weird.
And also, you can tell she's kind of making a decision. Now, Ryan just leaves. Graham's like, I'm going to go see the doctor. I'll meet you there. Yep. And
Graham's like,
Graham's left alone in the house and looks and has another little vision of Grace.
Yeah.
Just kind of staring at him, and then pans back, and she's obviously not there.
Oh, that hurts.
And we get to just outside the TARDIS, and the three of them meet up, and like, well, you ready? Okay, let's go in. And Graham knocks on the door, and the TARDIS door just pops open.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you guys, come on in.
Oh, hey, what's up?
It's like the TARDIS knows who you are and will just open up for you.
TARDIS already
obviously likes you guys. So
yeah.
You've got it in there, and basically whenever the doctor says final goodbye, huh? And like, yeah, about that.
No, we want to.
Do we have to? Can we come with you? And the doctor pauses for a moment and pretty much just starts telling them, you really don't want to do this. Like, are you sure? Because I can't guarantee your safety.
Nope, not
why
at all.
do you want to do this? And Graham pretty much tells her that, I'm still grieving, and being at home where she's there all the time, being out with you really helps. And Brian says, yeah, what, do you think I really want to go back and work in that warehouse?
Yeah.
I'm good. You're pretty awesome. Right on. And Yaz responds with, yeah, I love my family, but they also absolutely drive me crazy. And while I love them, I want more. Like, doctor's, okay, well, but are you really sure? Because when I pull that lever, I'm never really sure what happens. Ryan's like, yeah, no, that's okay. I can't guarantee your safety. Yaz says, yeah, we know. And, you're not going to be the same people when you left. And Graham says, but I think that's a good thing. Are you sure? All of you, be sure. Are you sure? And all three of them answer,
yes.
Sure. And in my notes, I'm going, thrice asked and answered. And any demonic contract, you have just signed your ass away. So buy the ticket, take the ride.
The doctor and the TARDIS own you now.
Yeah, the doctor's also like, my fam. No, that's not quite.
No.
Team TARDIS? And they all just kind of, all right, we'll work with it. Oh, come on, this is going to be awesome. Hey, you want to all pull the lever together? And they pull the lever and end credits. So from henceforth, they will be Team TARDIS.
Yes.
Because I'll totally take that and run with it.
I wrote down in my notes, Team TARDIS pulls the lever. I was like, I like Team TARDIS.
Yeah, I can work with that. It's better than Doctor and Company.
So, yes, fun episode. You saw me moving this book around earlier. So I've been reading, I actually literally just started it, one of my Doctor Who novels. This one is called The Crawling Terror from Mike Tucker. It's a 12th Doctor and Clara adventure. The front of it is the TARDIS with a big-ass spider and a spider web crawling all over it.
Yeah.
I do suggest anyone to check this out. The back of it, the write-up on it, it's like... Gabby Nichols is putting her son to bed when she hears her daughter cry out, "Mummy, there's a daddy longlegs in my room." Then the screaming starts. I was like,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Chris was inspired by this book, or it's been an idea floating around in the BBC area. And he was like, all right, we're doing spiders. And it's our Halloween episode.
Yeah, very on point with it being Halloween, because there's just nothing more atavistic than the reaction of wanting to whomp a spider.
And next week, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be looking forward to giving you the recap of the Saranga conundrum. If
we'll wait to hear the pronunciation.
I'm not very good with pronunciations, okay? But yes.
But it's going to be a space romp.
Yes.
They're off in a far-flung galaxy.
At a hospital.
Of course, at a hospital. It's the Doctor.
Yeah. Why not?
Duh.
But, yeah. So, Matt, can't wait to have you back next week when we go over this again.
Absolutely.
And listeners, I can't wait to have you back next week when we go over that episode as well. And in the meantime, go ahead and slide down, scroll down a little bit, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, click the bell, and get those notifications. And remember to keep your eyes and ears out, because you never know where or when the Doctor's going to turn up next and whomp a spider.